visually it was good. It was a little dark.
Yeah,
though.
it was.
I mean, granted, a lot of the movie took place in the dark because of what's the bug's name? Did they even give it a name? I was trying to think.
They called it Mewtwo. They called it Mewtwo, which was really weird. I'm like, no, that's not a Pokemon.
His weapon is EMFs or
EMPs.
EMPs, excuse me.
Yeah.
EMPs, and so obviously they're not going to have any power, so it's going to be very dark.
Yeah.
But even on top of that, it was. Even taking that in consideration, it was just the movie was really a little too dark for me.
Yeah. It had a very dark feel to it, and it was dark.
And I don't see very well at night to begin with. I mean, I don't. My vision is really horrible at night, and so it made it a little harder for me. I mean, maybe it might just be my personal eyes. I was having some trouble picking up on some of the things.
It was a little dark, yes. They could have done a little bit better job with that, I think, just so we could get a little bit more detail. The 3D was really good though. It was a pretty good 3D. It was that type of 3D where after a while you don't even really notice it.
Very depth of field.
It had
no pop outs.
It had a very, very good depth of field to it. Oh gosh. And I don't know who that. Sorry, there are a few spoilers for this. I'm sorry. I don't know who the other monster was. I don't know who it was supposed to be. It seemed to me that it was almost maybe supposed to be like Mothra.
See, that's what I was kind of thinking at first, but it wasn't a moth. It was just like a flying version of Mewtwo. I mean, they just called them male and female.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was supposed to be referencing another monster from Godzilla lore. If so, then Mothra is the only thing I can think of, because there were only like 4 or 5 flying monsters.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It may have just been something they made up for the movie, and if so, it wasn't bad. It was kind of a neat idea. I liked that there was another monster in it, but I had one major problem with this movie. And it's not major, but it's my one issue that I had with it. And they pulled a Cloverfield on us. You did not see you really didn't see Godzilla for most of the movie. It was like the last 30 minutes that he came in. And once they actually got to that point, cutting away, or they'd show like 5 seconds of the fight and then a door would close, or something like that. And I hated that, because that's what you want to see in a Godzilla movie. You want to see him just, they didn't even show the destruction of the cities that much. They just showed aftermaths. And that really got to me.
It was kind of annoying that, this is what people are expecting, to see Godzilla in a movie that's called Godzilla.
Yeah, and that's the only reference that I want to make to that abomination of a Roland Emmerich movie. I think he realized that he was making a crappy movie, so that movie showed Godzilla throughout the entire movie, even though it wasn't really Godzilla. There was a lot of action in it, but it's really not even a very good, any sort of good comparison, because that movie was really terrible. Just really, really god-awful. Here's a fun little fact too. Toho was so ashamed of it when they started making Godzilla movies again over in Japan. They made Godzilla Final Wars, and they actually brought the Roland Emmerich Godzilla into it and had Godzilla crush him. Literally crush him, stepped on him, squished him. And they called him Zilla. not Godzilla. They took the God part out of it.
Counterpoint to what you said. Yes, you want to see Godzilla in it, but I never saw Cloverfield. I never really had an interest to see Cloverfield, but I think, me personally, I think in this one it worked because you could see it more in the mindset of the people that were actually there. Like they didn't know what was going on most of the time, so it made you feel more like you were actually in the movie, not knowing what's going on.
Good counterpoint.
Like, for instance, when they're right before Vegas is attacked, you see they're all playing on the slot machines, and then you see the little film, the news story come on, but it's so insignificant that nobody really pays attention to it.
Yeah.
And so that way it's that much more of a shock when Mutu just tears into the casino.
Because they don't know.
Because they don't know it's there.
That's a very good counterpoint too. That's a very good counterpoint. I guess I'm just, and
it's almost like it's like a build-up.
Yeah.
It's like foreplay to the final big climatic scene.
And once they got there, it was great.
Awesome.
I mean, so good.
Spoiler alert, I thought they were going to pull a King Kong. I was seriously wow, are you seriously, they're going to kill off Godzilla?
That, I started getting really angry too when that came. There were a few great moments of excitement in that final battle. He had his atomic breath, which I was waiting for. I was like, oh, please let it be in there.
Oh, when he grabbed that guy and just went, ah! That was so bad. He just freaking exploded.
That is what, that will probably go down as one of Godzilla's best kills. I mean, my God, it was amazing. But, because there are two important things that make a Godzilla movie. Number one, he has atomic breath. Except for in the original he didn't, but it's become such a part of his character now.
Yeah, but the original ones, they were doing the atomic testing, but it wasn't, atomic bombs and stuff weren't as prevalent, because that was 1953 or something like that?
Yeah, but that's the reason why they made it. It was made to play on the fears of the Japanese people. It was made as a horror movie, the original one, in that sense. But the second most important thing is Godzilla doesn't die. He only dies a couple of times, and he only dies from monsters. It's the only thing that can kill him. Actually, it was mainly Gigan, I think, killed him. Or Ghidorah killed him one time. Military does not kill Godzilla. Nothing kills Godzilla except for another monster. That nuclear blast would not have killed him, I'm sorry.
No.
He's freaking Godzilla. He would have lived through that. But they did a fake out where everybody thought he was dead.
Yeah, I was getting mad. I was like, oh my God, I'm having flashbacks to King Kong sitting in the theater in Orlando. I'm having flashbacks right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But...
And I was like, damn onions. Oh, there was some definitely damn onion moments in this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much so. But then he gets up. And what they had on the TV there as they were showing him walk out, that was just beautiful. It said, King of the Monsters, Savior of the City. I'm like... Question mark. I was like, yes. And that was perfect because Godzilla has never been a good guy or a bad guy. He just exists. Sometimes he saves the day, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he just decides to destroy everything. And that's his role.
I have one final thing that I want to say before we wrap this up. One of the most touching moments in the whole movie to me is when what was the scientist's name? Ken Wansabe's name. What was his character's name?
Oh, Dr. Iwasawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Iwasawa, when they're discussing on how to destroy the monsters, and he is telling the admiral of the Navy ship, just let King Kong, let Godzilla, just let nature have its way, and they're going to use nuclear weapons, and he hands him that pocket watch that his father, and was stopped at 8:15 in the morning. Was it August 6, 1945? And immediately the admiral knew what that meant of the bombing of Hiroshima, and
it was his father's watch.
It was his father's watch, and how it shows that nuclear warfare is not the answer to everything. It's actually, in my personal opinion, it's not the answer to anything, but that's another tangent altogether.
Yeah.
That was one of the most touching moments in the whole thing. Not, not the death of millions of people, not the death of the scientist's wife, and he watched her die.
That was a harsh moment, though. That was a hard moment.
But that just one simple statement, it's a simple, revealing a time and date.
That, and I liked that moment for the same reason, but I also liked it because it was a very nice little kind of a throwback to what the original Godzilla was all about. The original Godzilla in Japan, it was made almost as a horror movie because it was playing on their fears of nuclear warfare and atomic bombs. Because that was, the big fear in Japan at the time. When it was released to the U.S. saw it as more a message that this is what nuclear warfare can bring. It wasn't trying to play on our fears of nuclear war, because at the time we didn't have that fear because we had the bombs. When you have the bombs, you're not afraid. But it was more a message, this is what nuclear war could lead to, and that was a nice little parallel to that moment in the movie.
Yeah.
Him saying, this is what nuclear war does, So
I mean, you may think
like
the fallout, minimal fallout is not going to really hurt anything, but it hurts individuals. It hurts individuals more than it hurts society.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, did we just have a deep conversation in one of our videos?
Yeah, it happens occasionally.
I know, it's a rarity. I think we should probably end on that high note. I think we should too.
9 out of 10 for me.
I don't like to give numbers. I'm just going to say go see it in the biggest screen you can find.
Yeah.
If you can't find it in 3D, that's fine. It's not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
If you can actually go to an actual IMAX theater to see it, do that. I would like to have seen
this would have been
better. This probably would have been better, but I didn't want to make the trek to Dallas.
Yeah, this definitely would have been a good IMAX one. But there you go.
So, thanks for watching. Next time, fingers crossed, South Park.
Sometime next week, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So,
thanks for watching. Blessed be.